Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autothoughts and Decepticlowns. You are listening to Prime Cuts, a non-linear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Nero.
I'm your other host, Audrey.
And we're back with some more of animated season 2. We're in the latter half of the season now. We're sort of past the hump.
Yeah. A good episode to reach the hump on. Black Friday's great.
Yes, things have begun happening. Cooler things, I would say, than the past few weeks. The Prowling Lockdown episode was fine, but I don't know. It just hasn't been all that exciting or interesting. But now we get lots of lore, and we get some Black Arachnia fun times. We get Optimus and Grimlock hanging out, which, should have happened more often on the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that is, of course, a time-honored tradition of having the same guy talk to himself for most of an episode, because both Optimus and Grimlock are voiced by David Kaye in this show.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had a pool of maybe 10 voice actors total for this show.
Yes, and most of them were Tom Kenny as Emblebee's by...
Right, most of them were Tom Kenny. And it's like each of them got one of either the main Decepticons or main Autobots, and then they just rotated through for everyone else. So
yeah, and you got
you do get people talking to each other, to themselves a lot.
Oh yeah, but you also have your
and then you get Weird Al.
Your Weird Al's, your Lance Henriksen's, I always forget the character actor who plays Meltdown, but you get your guest voices in there, and you get your
Does Tony Todd do a voice for this show as well at some point?
I don't believe
just Prime.
So.
Okay,
I think he's not a infrequent character on Prime. He shows up for a fair bit of season 2,
right?
But no Tony Todd.
No, I was just trying to remember if he played a one-off in animated. I know his character in Prime is obviously a real character.
No, he was too busy voicing our favorite character, the Fallen, in Revenge of the Fallen. You can definitely tell that's Tony Todd in that movie.
Poor Mr. Todd.
But yes, this week we watched Autoboot Camp and Black Friday. And I guess to start with this one, Autoboot Camp, I think, is a pretty... It is the most flashback episode we've gotten, I think, other than the first Black Arachnia episode. And I say that because basically nothing happens in the present of that episode. Nothing really occurs other than Bumblebee gets stuck in some rocks. But all of the meat is contained in the flashback for the most part until the big reveal at the end.
Right, yes. our big reveal. I do like Long Arm's design.
He looks great, and so does his other face that we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah. It was fun watching this episode again and not obviously registering who Long Arm actually was, because I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. But taking a while looking at him again and being like, oh right, that's the eye.
Yep, he's got a
that's the eye.
Big old conspicuous red circle on his forehead. I wonder what that could be, but yes. So Autoboot. All right, I gotta say, I got some advice for the Elite Guard. You need some better fucking security on your goddamn ship. This is the third dude who escaped this week.
Or why? Out of curiosity, why is he here?
I don't know why maybe they were transferring
why is he on
him?
why is he on the brig of the ship that's on Earth?
I don't know. Why? Yeah, I wonder why or if that is the same ship. I also don't know why the Elite Guard ship is flying around near the space bridge from the first episode. I don't really know what's going on here, but regardless, Green Bumblebee is on the run from Sentinel Prime in the opening bit of this episode.
And hey, speaking of, given our discussion at the beginning of this episode, you'll never guess who he's voiced by.
Yep, it's boy howdy. Tom Kenny's here again.
It's a Tom Kenny special, folks.
He gets to do two voices. He gets to do like the arch sort of rich boy, bratty cadet voice, and he gets to do a Waspinator type voice.
Is he Ironhide?
I don't think so. No, but Wasp talk when he's
oh,
normal,
I see what you're saying.
He's like a high sort of a bratty rich kid cadet, and then of course later after he's been driven mad by presumably years of confinement. Although you know what? Now that I think about it, I guess like the timeline for his arrest to being on that ship probably isn't that long, all things considered, right? Like the Space Bridge crew didn't seem like it had been together for that long at the beginning of this show. So at the most, I would say.
Well, it's also really hard to say because we're talking about like Transformers years.
So yeah, however he got on this damn ship, we don't know. But
it could very easily be like hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah, but he escaped, and Sentinel is going after him, and supposedly Wasp, as we learn his name is a Decepticon spy. And when Ultra Magnus calls in to Earth to inform them of this loose Decepticon spy, Bumblebee immediately recognizes him from his Elite Guard boot camp days, which were previously alluded to in the first episode of this season, I believe, when Bumblebee remarks to Bulkhead that Sentinel doesn't seem to recognize them from the Elite Guard days, and Bulkhead responds, "That's probably for the best."
Yeah,
and we learn.
I have to say, like I know in general that like Bulkhead is not supposed to be like the brightest bulb. But I feel like they really overplayed him being stupid in this episode.
Well, I think it's less that he's dumb and more that he's, like, naive, right? Because, like Bumblebee said, he's like a farm boy fresh off the fucking Energon fields. He doesn't know shit about fuck.
I guess.
And for the rest of
it felt weird.
For the rest of it, he's pretty, like... I mean, he's basically just telling Bumblebee, like, look, we need to call Prime. You can't just run off and do this show on your own.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't mean. Sorry, to be clear, I didn't mean in the present.
Oh,
I meant in the flashback. I'm like, this feels almost like a different character because he's like naive to the point of like parody almost.
He's also got a little bit of a southern twang in his voice that is usually absent.
Yeah.
Because he's a country boy.
He's like one of those fucking Tumblr posts where like these days you can't go around to a farmer when you don't have no whiskey or whatnot.
That's right.
And it's like, okay.
But yeah, we kind of get our flashback to Bumblebee, and he's looking at a big old picture of Ultra Magnus, and he's got big dreams of being an Elite Guard like scout. And he bumps into Wasp, who calls him short, despite the fact that they are basically the same height. And as Bumblebee points out, are literally built from the same fucking mold.
I can't remember the exact words that Bumblebee uses here. He uses the first words, which are like, looks like we were both forged from something. Maybe the same mold might actually be the exact words.
It's like the same protoform mold.
Yeah, and my interpretation was like, looks like we were both forged to sell toys.
That's right. Wow, you sure do look like some kind of retool of me, Wasp. I wonder if I can buy you on shelves, and in fact you could.
It seems like it might be really cheap to mass produce you after they've mass produced me. That's crazy.
All they really have to do is change the head. Wow. That's crazy. But yeah, Wasp tells him to fucking shove off and, belittles him. And this is where we then...
The same size as him.
Yeah, literally like 1 inch taller than him, and Wasp was like, you fucking shitty little compact, fuck you. A lot of microaggressions in this episode. We learn
Emphasis on micro. A
lot about derogatory Cybertronian slang in this episode. We learn quite a few things. And also we learn how some people... I don't understand this naming thing. I don't know if this is standard or not, but this is weird once we learn how everyone gets their names.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what the fuck?
What's going on?
Hey, what the fuck?
What's going on there? Is that like...
Literally your government assigned name.
I've got a lot of questions about Autobot society after this episode, I must say.
And for that matter, if that's how the Autobots do it, how the fuck did the Decepticons do it?
Yeah, I don't understand the goddamn thing. But I do like, Bumblebee blurts this out and he goes into his flashback, and then the President Ultra Magnus goes, "You know this guy?" And Bumblebee goes, "Slag, yeah, sir." He's like, "I know that fucking piece of shit, trash, asshole, motherfucker, Commander."
Alphonse Elric voice, "Fuck yeah!"
And Magnus is like, "Well, I'm just calling you to let you know, like, oh yeah." Bumblebee says, "Yeah, I know him. He hates my fucking guts." And Magnus goes, "Well, then you might want to, like, lay low because he's on the loose." It just tells them to be on the lookout. So, Bumblebee's got that in the back of his mind. Meanwhile, down in the mine, way back in the mine, got the fusion cannons. I don't know. Megatron is calling his double agent on Cybertron, previously alluded to. And he's like, my beautiful, handsome double agent who is well embedded with the Autobots. Soon we will launch our assault, but don't worry, because the mysterious double agent says, "Megatron, should you really be calling me right now? What if someone taps your thing?" But Megatron's like, "Look, no one on Cybertron is going to be able to listen to onto this shit. We're fine." And some Dak in his little fucking terrarium 10 feet away is like, "Yeah, no one on Cybertron, but check this out." And he leaks the transmission.
And I'm like, "Okay, Mr. Isaac."
He's not entirely given up. He's like, "I'm gonna fuck him over any way possible." And yeah, this is where Bumblebee has been put on monitor duty because that's safe. And I like him going like, "Oh man, monitor duty fucking sucks. Is there anything worse than monitor duty?" And then Bulkhead just proceeds to list out everything they've done that's worse than monitor duty. And Bumblebee goes, "Yeah, I'll shut up."
Now, to be fair, Bulkhead is correct.
He's absolutely correct. Monitor duty seems fine. I would be happy with monitor duty, frankly. That is literally just sitting around.
Literally 2 episodes ago or whatever, they were cleaning up sewage.
Yeah, they were fucking hauling garbage for the city of Detroit. I don't know, man. I'd like to watch some monitors, but on one of these monitors, the garbled communication between Megatron and his spy comes through, and Bumblebee only catches a few words, but he catches enough to be like, "Oh shit, we gotta."
He's picking up what they're putting down.
He's like, construction project, yada yada yada, spy, all this sort of thing, and so he's immediately ready to jump into action. And he's confident that he can trace that communication back to the Decepticon base because they still don't know where it is. And Bulkhead's like, "Yeah, it sounds like a pretty big mission. We should probably tell Optimus." And Bumblebee's like, "No, I do. We can do this on our own. It's fine. It'll be stealthier that way. It'll be sneaky. We don't want to alert Megatron to the fact that we're onto him."
Yeah, because this has worked so well in the past several episodes.
Bumblebee will never learn a goddamn thing, and that is a promise.
Never change, never improve.
That is his motto. But we get another flashback. I really like the way this flashback opens with Ironhide using his fucking harden ability and Wasp just wailing on his stomach to test how hard his hide is.
I have to say, they truly made Ironhide a full himbo in this one.
They did. The little we get of him, and once he was gonna be in season 4, just another tally for everyone to put down on the crime that is the cancellation of animated season 4. But we were gonna get more Ironhide, but yeah, he is like
like Kronk.
He is Kronk for sure. He is Kronk, but from Texas. And yeah, so we get the we also see a handsome fellow with long arms who is like he's a friendly guy, isn't he? He seems to be voiced by Corey Burton, but that's probably fine.
Well, I mean, who else is Corey Burton voiced in here?
Who else? Who is the most famous Transformers role Corey Burton has voiced? Animated Megatron, probably. There's nobody else.
Yeah.
But so
listen, if Tom Kenny can play multiple characters, yeah. So this guy also wants to be a security officer, which shouldn't raise any red flags for anyone either.
Yeah, so we get the muster with Sentinel Minor. This is before he got promoted to Prime. He's their drill sergeant. And yeah, we get a little introduction. He tells everyone to show off their stuff. Oh, and before this is the part where we are introduced to Bulkhead for the first time, who asks Bumblebee if he can take a picture with him with all the big buildings in the background. The boys back home on the farm are never going to believe there's a building this big. And Bumblebee says, "You're fresh off the Energon farm, aren't you, buddy?" And Bulkhead goes, "Yeah, how could you tell?"
And he's like, I'm psychic. I'm an Esper.
So yeah, there's the muster, and Sentinel is telling everyone to show off their stuff, right? And we get Longarm. So it's in the order is they show their abilities and then Sentinel names them. So
no, I think before we get into all their abilities and the ridiculous fact that Sentinel names them, I do like, and I think we may have mentioned this a little bit before, but I when we were like way back at the beginning of season 1, where we were getting like introduced to like Bumblebee's stingers or whatever. Yeah, but I do like that. In the world of animated, everyone has an outlier ability. Yeah,
everyone has a thing. They have a built-in sort of thing. And we, and that's just a common thing among Autobots. It seems to be specifically like a trait to them. We don't really, for Decepticons, it's usually weaponry that is like integrated, but that's sort of a different thing. And it seems almost interchangeable.
Yeah, and again, like where you draw the line between what is a weapon and what is not a weapon with these sorts of abilities is also
like I was about to say Prowl's shurikens are weapons, but then I remembered that's not actually his like special ability. His special ability
is stealth.
Is like he can project holograms. It hasn't come up in a really long time. It actually comes up.
Jesus Christ!
It comes up for the first time in a while in Black Friday, actually, because Black Arachnia steals that. But yeah, so Longarm gets his name because he has the ability to be tall.
Because he's fucking Betty Spaghetti.
Yeah, he can extend his limbs, which I guess it's useful for like getting stuff off of high shelves, but I don't really see how it's that useful.
Have you ever played Poppy Playtime?
No.
It's like a Bendy and the Ink Machine sort of style horror game. Except it takes place in an abandoned 1990s toy factory. And so it's all the toys that are the monsters. And, like, one of them is called Mommy Longlegs. And is, like, basically exactly what Longarm is here. Just kind of noodly and bad to look at.
Yeah, we got Mommy Longlegs. Ironhide gets his name because he can, like, he basically has Colossus's power, I guess. He can make himself impenetrable.
Now, it's also unclear to me with Ironhide how much of it is actually visible or how much is just shown to us as the audience so we understand.
I think it is part of a visibility thing because, like, he can isolate parts of it on his, like, body. So presumably he does turn silver when he uses that impenetrability thing.
Okay.
Wasp has stingers, and he's really good with them. So and I don't know how Sentinel knows what a wasp is, but he knows
I had a big old question mark for that one.
Number one organic hater, Sentinel Minor. Although maybe this is before the incident. It probably was.
I would guess it was because he's not a prime yet.
Yeah, they were both. They were all. I think were they both primes in that episode? I can't remember.
I feel like they were. Certainly, he was not using the name Sentinel Minor.
Yeah, so this was before the incident.
Yeah.
So and then Bumblebee says, "Oh, stingers! I have them too. I'm way cooler than Wasp. Check this out!" And he fucks it up, and he
Wasp has stingers and is very good with them, and Bumblebee has stingers and is not very good with them.
And so Sentinel's like, "You're a bumbler. So your name is Bumblebee."
Another name that will conveniently be used for an organic species on Earth years from now, but for me just means Plan B who bumbles.
Yeah, sure.
He names Wasp because he has all the prowess of a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
That's right. And then if you like episodes where Sentinel Prime is injured frequently, you'll like this one because that's basically all that happens to him. Is he is splattered with substances and injured. Yeah,
I would say injured and or just generally humiliated.
Yeah, and I like this. I really like this line of at some point Sentinel insults Bulkhead's chin. He's like, "Quit smiling, you mudflap," and Bulkhead's like, "Well, sir, this is just how my jaw is built." And Bumblebee goes, "Forget his jaw. Look at the fucking asteroid-sized chin on Sarge." And Sentinel Prime's like, "You got a problem? You got a problem, kid?
I'll kill you for that."
Yeah, that a grudge that will never die. But yeah, so we also get introduced to the concept of transform ups.
Oh yeah,
I like this. This is funny.
I think it's a very good joke. It is a bit befuddling.
Does it make you faster if you do it over and over again, right? Like, is that the point of it, where you can
is it that tiring? Like, is it exercise to transform?
Well, not to be the bring up IDW1 show again, but there is that guy in the very first episode of More Than Meets the Eye who, in protest, transformed himself to death. By just burning out his T-Cog by transforming over and over again. So maybe it is tiring.
Okay. Sure. All right, then fair enough, I guess.
Yeah. But also this is where we get to know what everyone wants to do, and Longarm just wants to be an Elite Guard security officer.
Should not raise any flags for you that this fucking monstrosity with noodle arms.
He just wants to know everything. Ironhide wants to be
at least no more than it should raise red flags for anyone who says, "I want to be part of the surveillance state."
Yeah, they're honestly already a red flag on its own. That's why it doesn't really stand out. Ironhide wants to be a trooper. Wasp wants to be a commander, and humble old Bulkhead just wants to be a bridge repair technician, a space bridge technician, and Sentinel has a real laugh about that.
Well, Bumblebee says what he wants to be first, right? Because then Sentinel responds to him being like, "You should take a cue from your friend."
Right. Yeah,
I can't remember. I think Wasp says he wants to be commander, and Bumblebee's like, "I also want to be a commander." He jumps in line because Bulkhead's next. And then Bumblebee's like, "I'm also going to be a commander." And Sentinel's like, yeah, fucking man. Right you are. All right, sure, big guy, buddy. What do you want to be?
Yeah. So he wants to be a space British technician. And yeah, this is the first instance of fluid-based humiliation. Bumblebee and Bulkhead get put on oil change duty.
Just really quickly. Well, I guess this happens here. where Bumblebee's very upset that he gets put on this duty, but he's also like viscerally upset at Bulkhead for not dreaming ambitiously enough.
Right. There's a thing with Bumblebee here of like he's mad at Bulkhead because he feels like Bulkhead is always dreaming too small. He's not ambitious enough. And it's like, I don't know, man. If Bulkhead dreams of being a space bridge technician, that's his goal. It's an honest living.
Yeah, he puts on his best Tom Hardy voice and goes, "You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, love."
Yeah. And yeah, Bulkhead just goes, "It's an honest living," and then shenanigans happen, unto which point Sentinel gets covered in oil. And then this first punishment is quite something else, where because like before enough incidents occur where Sentinel decides to implement squad-wide punishments when one of them fuck up. This first one, he just has Bumblebee stand in a courtyard balancing these oil drums on his arm and repeating, "I'm a worthless oil stain."
I mean, to be fair, he did literally bury Sentinel and shit, which is very funny.
And then I like that he literally just quits. He just like, wait. He halfway through, he's like, wait, no one's watching me. Why am I doing this? And he just leaves. And yeah, this is where he sees a shadowy figure communicating with Megatron, who's like, good, you've infiltrated, work your way up the ranks, and we'll have this. You destroy the Autobot security apparatus from the inside. Well, he doesn't say that. He doesn't say what his position will be. He just says, destroy the Autobots from the inside out. So discord and like uncertainty. And Bumblebee's like, oh fuck, there's a spy. And then Wasp walks out of a door, and he's like, oh fuck, the spy is Wasp.
And he's right.
That's right.
And there's no negative consequences.
And then Longarm also walks out of a door and goes, hey, what's up, little guy? And Bumblebee goes, Longarm, I think there's a spy here. And he goes, what? And presumably he has one hand behind his back, slowly turning into a gigantic cannon. And
what are you talking about? Why would Longarm do that? He's so happy that he wants to be a surveillance officer, so he's so happy to have this information.
Yeah, and Longarm's like, oh, who do you think is the spy? And Bumblebee goes, I don't say anything yet. I don't have the proof yet, but I think it's Wasp. And Longarm goes, oh, then you should totally investigate him.
So it was a joke, he said, and put down the rock.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you should definitely put all of your effort into investigating him then, because like if you like, we got to root this out. You got to root out the traitor.
Well, more than that, he's like, you should put all your energy into investigating this and solving this, because at this point, Sentinel fucking hates you, and the only way you could ever hope to achieve your goals with the elite squad is by getting, solving a case so undeniably useful that they couldn't deny your skills anymore.
Yep.
So this is the one for you, kid.
Yeah, you just go all in, and so he does, and thus begins a sort of cavalcade of misunderstandings and shenanigans. I really like this first one. Is quite something, where he sets up like a prank box. It's like a fucking collectible in a video game with the Elite Guard symbol on it, and Bumblebee's like Looney Tunes watching from behind a roof, and he's like, ooh, that spy is gonna come right by here and they're not gonna be able to resist opening this box. And then Sentinel walks over and goes, we left this box here, and he opens it and it gets splattered with like pink paint.
The second one's my favorite.
Yes.
Where he sets up so Bumblebee's like, all right, stealthier, I can do this. So he tries to like plant a bug.
No, it's so much stupider. He'd be fine if he tried to plant a bug. He's literally stationed with a gigantic listening device.
You're right, yeah. So, yeah, again, it's supposed to be a listening device.
Uh-huh.
But it is in fact a microphone.
Yeah, he bumps the wrong button and turns it into a microphone.
And it picks up Sentinel basically talking a lot of shit about Ultra Magnus being like 1 foot out the door of life.
He's bitching to Cliffjumper.
Essentially.
He's bitching to Cliffjumper, who's like, and he's just like, that fucking Ultra Magnus guy, he's a great warrior or whatever, but like, I don't know, man, it's time for some new blood, I think he's sort of a fucking old dipshit, and all of this gets broadcast, and he pauses and he goes, "Hey, do you hear that echo? Who was that echo?" And
everyone's like, Cliffjumper's like,
and he walks outside and sees Bumblebee with this gigantic listening device. So yeah, a lot of people heard that. And yeah, all of these are followed by like squad-wide punishments of repeated transform ups. So at
every
this point,
time
everyone
the
fucking
number gets
him.
higher.
Yes, it starts like after the paint incident. He's counting and it's like on like 20, 21, and then after the loudspeaker thing is like 147, 148. So yeah, Wasp at this point really hates him. Ironhide hates him. No one's really happy with him. But Longarm's like, listen, you can't give up. You gotta expose him. This is gonna be your last chance. Sentinel's gonna do a locker inspection. If he finds anything suspicious, he's gonna take all the credit. So
but he's gonna do that after this cool simulation we're doing, so don't even worry about it. That's a later problem.
No, this is before. Oh yeah, no, that's after the simulation. That's right. So yeah, the simulation here. There's like a combat simulator where it's it's basically like a paintball match, pretty much, with all of these turrets who are they're firing at the cadets here, and
Wasp immediately throws a grenade right in the Bumblebee's face.
Yes, and he panics and like takes cover, and it sprays him with pink paint, and Wasp goes, it's a fucking simulation, idiot.
It's actually
live rounds.
It's actually even worse than that, because he's like, all right, Bumblebee, what are you going to do? And Bumblebee immediately tosses it, runs away, takes cover, and then tosses it so badly that it rattles around and ricochets off things before landing right next to him again. It's a bad sequence for Bumblebee.
It's no good. It's no good. But yeah, we got a little bit of oh wait, no, we forgot the most fucked up thing that happens.
Oh, I didn't. Are you talking about the live fire becoming live fire?
No, before that. That one's fine. That's just regular old trying to kill someone in
the legs.
Like an accident way.
The legs.
Wasp and Ironhide are fucking sick of Bumblebee's shit. So they corner him in the locker room and take his legs off.
And then he's like, okay, cool joke, give it back, guys. And Wasp literally throws them up on lockers. And he's like, no, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, get him, idiot. And they walk away. Like, it's just like, yeah, they're robots and they can just put this back together, but it's so fucked up.
Some American Horror Story Season 2 ass shit.
You just this is the scene where, yeah, Longarm comes in and puts his legs back on. And he's like, don't give up, little buddy. You're almost there. And between all of these scenes, we're getting little snippets of Bulkhead and Bumblebee attempting to like find the secret base, and Bulkhead is constantly going, just call Optimus, just call Prime, and Bumblebee is always like, you're thinking too small again. If we do this, if we find the Decepticon base and report it to Ultra Magnus, we're gonna be fucking heroes. And they get into a big argument, and eventually, like, Bulkhead, like, he just leaves. He's like, all right,
yeah, he's
fine.
like, I had a thought, actually, fuck this.
He's like, all right, fine, I'm sick of this. You find it on your own. Then we get the live fire.
Yeah, so back into the paintball training exercise, someone, not naming names, shadowy figure, switches again. Why is there a switch for this?
Why is there? Are these? Yeah, I guess these are just real wartime turrets. Surely,
but why?
Surely, the elite guard can afford specific training turrets.
But why? So yeah, and they the shadowy figure switches the training turrets from paint to live fire, and most of them almost die.
Yeah, they start getting almost blown up. Bulkhead steps in to save Bumblebee's ass a little bit here. And
one last humiliation for old Sentinel here.
So this one's really funny. Because like the turrets blow it's not one of the turrets. It's Bulkhead takes out one of the turrets with his wrecking ball, and then the wrecking ball keeps going and smashes through like a tower. And Sentinel notices the noise and looks up and goes, what is that? And then he just goes, uh-oh, and gets fucking crushed under it. And the Bulkhead goes, ooh, should I apologize to him for that? And Bumblebee goes, you definitely shouldn't do that, because he will immediately expel you if he learns that you knocked a tower onto him. And I just sneak away.
Yeah, you should act like you don't know and have never seen anything in your life.
Yeah, just pretend that you don't know what a tower is. But yeah, so this is where we get the locker inspection after Bumblebee becomes trapped under an avalanche of his own making.
Right.
He thinks back to this moment where Longarm's like, hey, there's a locker inspection. This is like your last chance, because you know that when Sentinel finds this incriminating evidence, it is surely in Wasp's locker. Don't ask me how I know that. When you find this incriminating evidence that's in his locker, he'll take all the credits. You got to be the one to find it first. So you got to lift Wasp's locker key off of him and look in it yourself. So Bumblebee does just that. He picks Wasp's pocket and starts going through it and finds...
And Wasp is like, get your dirty hands off me.
Wasp is like, don't touch me. Ew. But he does not notice that Bumblebee took his key. He just notices that Bumblebee touched him. Oh, because Longarm helps by tripping him with his long feet.
Yeah.
Longarm. What
a good friend. What a good, dependable friend Longarm is.
He's so good and dependable, and Bumblebee's so happy to see him at the end of this. And he's a prime now. Isn't that great? He's one of the high up guys. But yeah, so Longarm trips him with his long feet. He touches Wasp with his long feet. And yeah, Bumblebee opens his footlocker and finds this fucking conspicuously right on top of everything Decepticon communicator, and turns it into Sentinel, who immediately locks Wasp away. And Wasp is saying, I was innocent, I'm being framed, I'm not a fucking Decepticon spy. And Sentinel just goes, yeah, whatever.
And he goes straight to jail because Autobot justice is pathetic.
That's right. It's a normal society. Don't ask any questions about the fucking the Autobot government.
Really, just a completely unexamined police state and animated, huh?
I feel like actually Autobots do go examined a bit more than fucking Detroit. Honestly, there's a bit more focus on the elite guard being fucking weird and corrupt. More so when a certain event happens and someone else takes over.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, we have this aging war hero. I guess functionally, Ultra Magnus is like Dwight D. Eisenhower, where he won the last big war, and he got he became, I don't know if he became leader during I think he became leader during I think he became Magnus during the war. I believe, because we see him in flashbacks with the hammer. But yeah, he's just holding on to power. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Sentinel says, oh, Bumblebee, you will, you'll be shot through the ranks for this. We'll put you on the fast track to being a commander for finding this rat.
However,
yeah,
that's the good news.
Yeah. By the way, this entire scene Sentinel's in a sling. He's like in an arm sling.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't think I've forgotten that time someone dropped a building on my head.
What? Okay, so what kind of like fucked up logic is this?
Did you
So,
say?
Sentinel's like, okay, so good news. Bumblebee, you are through to the elite guard. Good job. Bad news, I am kicking someone out because I am still so goddamn mad. Like, I can't begin to tell you how pissed off I still am about the building thing. And since no one has confessed, I'm just going to choose the largest target. So, Bulkhead, go fuck yourself.
The logic is the Sentinel's an asshole.
Yeah, but before he can make the final declaration that Bulkhead is out of the training camp, Bumblebee jumps up and goes, "Wait, it was me. I did it." This doesn't like change my elite guard status, right?
Yeah, I like you get the big moment of him seemingly giving up his career for Bulkhead, but I don't know if he knew that. I don't know if he knew that it would happen.
Yeah, real Bulkbee moments for those Bulkbee enjoyers out there, not
and
clickbait.
The last thing the last bit of this flashback is them on the asteroid with the Ark in the background, and Bulkhead is absolutely fucking thrilled to be here, and Bumblebee is the most miserable little boy on the planet. But
which is how it should be.
Mm-hmm. And Bumblebee, trapped under rubble, is like, "Oh God, what have I done? He's been the only real friend I've ever had, and I fucking told him to kick rocks. Bulkhead, please help me." And then Bulkhead looms over him, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry. I couldn't up and leave you, Bumblebee, because I knew you'd fuck up."
There's a really a sweet moment here where it comes back sort of full circle, where as like Bumblebee's like, "Guess I'll die here." He was like, "You were always my only friend, really, even though you never knew how to dream big." And Bulkhead like takes him out, and he's like, "Yeah, I dreamed big. I dreamed of being your friend."
He digs him out, and
he cuts around to the corner of the cliff.
Yeah, this is the funniest shot.
If you're still in line to find for the Decepticon base, keep waiting.
It's like that fucking picture of the two businessmen mining.
That's exactly what I was referencing. Yeah,
it's like the one of them is digging furiously. And he's far away from the diamonds, but the other one, he's dug farther, and he's given up, he's quitting, but the diamonds are right there. Yeah, they're literally around the corner from the fucking mine.
Yeah. So goddamn
but
stupid.
But it's okay. It's okay. They get home, and Bumblebee gets a Skype call from his good friend Longarm Prime. And he's like, "Oh, hey man, I'm so happy to see you." And Longarm's like, "Hey man, it's good to see you. Hey, can you just tell me what you overheard on that communication with Megatron? Because at this point, Bumblebee's told everybody what's going on." And Longarm's like, "Yeah, can you just what did you hear? What all did you hear, really? Did you see anyone?" And Bumblebee's like, "No, I didn't see who he was talking to, but I heard some things about like a construction project and stuff. It seemed pretty ominous." And Longarm's like, "Ah, great. Thank you so much. Don't worry about this. I'll take it from here.
Your report has been logged. We are looking into it."
We're looking into it. And yeah, then we get the big reveal.
The big reveal.
First we get to see Wasp.
He's fine.
Talks in the
he's fine. Don't worry about him. He's totally fine and has had no repercussions from being falsely imprisoned for probably hundreds of thousands of years.
He has gone mad and is going to fucking murder Bumblebee. And fair enough. Like, he ruined his life.
Yeah. No jury would convict him. That's why they didn't put him against one.
But also, who could possibly have done this? Who could have caused such misfortune? Not only one, but two bots' lives, huh? Well, we always ask around here, whose fault is this? And we always come back to one answer.
Long arm. No,
Because-
not true. It's Shockwave.
Yeah, because Megatron contacts his perfect little boy, his handsome double agent who can do anything, Shockwave.
Why did this go wrong? Statistically speaking, probably Shockwave.
He's here, yeah. And I love the reveal of this long, Megatron mentions his size shifting abilities because he can make himself look smaller, but also he's got a whole thing. He gave himself a fake face. I love that his horns become the little chin strap for Long.
Yeah. No, it's a really cool. It becomes pretty clear that Long Arm is the traitor throughout the course of the episode, but watching it the first time and being that's Shockwave is genuinely shocking.
Yes. So that's going on. One of the top intelligence official in the Autobot government is indeed one of Megatron's most loyal commanders. But that's
actually
fine.
I think it's the top official.
Yeah,
right?
he is
He's the head of Cybertronian intelligence.
That's true. He's the head of security.
He's literally the chief of CIA. What the?
Well, it seems everything is going great on Cybertron. Nothing to worry about there.
He's the Secretary of Homeland Security.
So then we move to one of the best episodes we had in a while.
Yeah, Black Friday. So good. We love a bad bitch, and we love two bad bitches.
That's right. So it's Meltdown time again. It's been a while since we saw Meltdown. He was in jail, so he did not get involved in the Society of Ultimate Villainy. But
my guess is no, because it would have just come out when these episodes were airing. But I do wonder if the depiction of Tony Stark in Iron Man had any influence on the depiction of Prometheus Black.
I don't really see that many similarities other than they're vain scientists, right?
Just in terms of attitude or whatever.
That's Black Meltdown, he's a little quippy, but he's much more campy than Iron Man is.
Or frankly of Warmonger, any of the Iron Man villains as well. I just wonder.
I wonder. Meltdown feels like he would be an Iron Man villain, right? Because he's got that power set that would be good against him. But yeah, so the reason we're seeing Meltdown is that Sari and Bumblebee are just Sari is fed up with Porter C. Powell, and frankly, who can blame her? He's an aggravating man, as we'll see in this episode. And they visit Meltdown in his cell, and they're trying to get some advice, because Powell and he were business partners once, and also Powell, if you'll remember from his first episode, is the one that screwed him over in the first place. He bought out his company from under him. So he has cause to harm Powell as well. But I love the two. So the first suggestion is, Meltdown says, "Oh, well, if you let me out, I'll help you out." And Sari goes, "That doesn't seem like a good idea." And then Meltdown goes, "I could kill him for you."
It's no skin off my back. I'll do it.
Yeah, both Sari and Bumblebee are no,
tempting, but
that seems bad. I'm not really ready to hire a fucking supervillain to murder my business rival with acid. That seems bad.
And you know what? That was their first mistake, if we're being honest.
Sorry, sometimes you have to melt your rivals, okay? You're in the cutthroat world of business, you got to do what you got to do. But they leave, and Powell, who has access to the security footage in this super prison for some fucking reason, is that was weird. I should probably keep an eye on that. That seems concerning. But shortly, something much more concerning happens, which is the Dinobots bust in and bust Meltdown out.
It's the collab of the century, baby.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Grimlock says that she wants to see Meltdown. He doesn't say who she is, but we'll learn. They just because Meltdown is in this big, like, cube prison that presumably his power he can't melt through. So they can't break into the cube.
To be clear, Meltdown is not happy about this.
No, he keeps melting his benches.
Yeah, Meltdown is quite afraid of the Dinobots.
Oh yeah, he is like, they're here to kill me.
Given how things ended with them last time, and he's like, hey, this prison, it's indestructible. I can't destroy it, neither can you. And Grimlock's like, not a problem. And they just take it.
We Dinobots no break cube. Dinobots take cube and they just steal him.
Yep. It's very good, actually.
Yep. So they take him to Dinobot Island, and it is revealed who the Dinobots are working for. It's Black Arachnia.
Sure is.
And very clearly, they are smitten, but especially Grimlock.
Yeah, so she got stuck on this island after
the season one. Yeah,
after
there was if we all remember, there was a really big explosion when SARI blew up the Allspark, and that knocked her onto Dinobot Island. Where she woke up and found the Dinobots.
And she's like, hey, big boys, you're kind of fucked up animal robots, too.
Yeah.
You want some of this?
And Grimlock goes with very enthusiastically, yes! She explains all this to Meltdown, and she goes to give Grimlock a kiss, by which I mean she stabs him with her like weird spider stingers and steals his power, and he seems fine with that.
It makes him weak in the knees. That's how kisses are supposed to work.
Me Grimlock hope this not awaken anything in me.
So one of the important things here is that while she was on the island, she did find Meltdown's lab.
Yes, yeah. The Dinobots showed it to her, I think she says.
Maybe. I thought she explored it on her own. But anyway.
She was asking about, like, science stuff, and I think they might have just showed her in. But yeah, she's like, I looked through your notes, and most of it was fucking boring as shit. But I was really interested in your research into genetics. See, I have this techno-organic body, and I'd really like to get rid of the organic part of that.
I'm a monstrosity, and you can help me stop that.
Yes, and so she says, all right, so here's the deal. You help me with this, and I tell the Dinobots not to murder you. And he's like, yeah, okay. Seems good enough.
Again, very scared of the Dinobots.
Yeah, he doesn't like being around them. So, we cut back to Detroit, where Porter C. Powell is trying to blame the prison break on SARI and Bumblebee, who visited Meltdown earlier, and Fanzone goes, now, hey, just one question, Mr. Powell. Why do you have this footage? And he goes, not important. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. I'm here. I'm reporting these crooks to you. I'm reporting they broke a dangerous supervillain out of prison. You must arrest them immediately. And Fanzone goes, actually, I'm on my lunch break. Sorry. And just leaves. Yeah,
I mean, the Autobots show up. They're like, okay, so
here's what happened. We went to Meltdown. Well, actually, I don't know if they explain their visit here.
I don't think they do. I think like they just get like the camera footage, and then they're like, "Ooh, we see the Dinobots there."
Yeah, they enhance and add the Dinobots. During all of this, Prowl makes a bet with Bumblebee because Bumblebee, we know him. He's a motor mouth. But Prowl's like, hey, I bet you a can of delicious axle grease that you cannot stay quiet for 10 cycles or 10 megacycles. And Bumblebee goes, oh, that's easy. So when does the challenge start? And Prowl's like, you already failed. You failed immediately. You fucked it.
And Bumblebee's like, well, that's not fair. Give me another chance. And Prowl's like, you failed again. You keep fucking it. How do you keep doing this so badly?
He will repeatedly fail over and over again as he just cannot resist chiming into every conversation. I really love, one of my favorite bits is after that first one where he fails, Prowl is talking to Prime about the Dinobots, and then Bumblebee chimes in, and Prime just looks so disappointed at him because he failed again. He just gives Bumblebee a fucking look.
Optimus is like so close to just ending it all in the scene, really.
This, it's funny. It's something I thought about when I was watching this. Like, it's honestly been a while since we had an Optimus-centric episode. Like,
I guess so, yeah. I mean, we talked about this a little bit last time, where we actually don't get a ton of like single character centric episodes in this show, but yes, it's been a while.
Ensemble thing. Everyone sort of gets their own focus episodes sprinkled about. Optimus has shown up in most episodes, but like this is the first time he's really been front and center since it's like the premiere, honestly.
And he thinks too much with his dick in this one.
Boy, howdy does he! Oh my god. He wants into that Spidussy.
It's so funny because he pretends like he's above it in this episode so badly, and it's
this dumb idiot Grimlock getting so fooled by her feminine wiles.
And then
Not
at the
me,
end,
though.
Not me. I'm in No Nut November.
Oh, Optimus, come closer. It's like, oh boy, pretty lady.
No Nut November, day 5 failed.
Oh, yeah, well, we saw him fail because he deployed the cum cannons again to put out that fire later. So, like, he fucked up. He failed. So, yeah, Prowl, Bumblebee, and Optimus go to Dinobot Island to figure out, like, why. Because they say, like, why the hell would the Dinobots break Meltdown out? They fucking hate that guy. So they gotta go figure out what's going on. And they pretty quickly find what's going on in the form of Bumblebee getting trapped in a big spider web.
Well, first Prowl finds footprints, like burnt footprints from Meltdown because he can't walk without destroying something. Literally.
He's always melting. Yeah.
And then Bumblebee, in the worst show of being quiet yet, yells Prowl's name. And Prowl's like,
oh my god, how are you so bad at this? What? Wait, he's like, he walks up, like, you better have a good reason for yelling so loud. And he walks up and sees Bumblebee stuck to a big spider web. And he goes, that's a pretty good reason.
Well, he doesn't say anything because he's immediately attacked by Black Arachnia. He's immediately attacked by Black Arachnia, who, like, webs him all up, all nasty, like, and then stings him into paralysis. And then she goes, I think he was probably trying to warn you about me. Yep. Which is a great line from her.
Oh, she has so many good lines in this. So, the Optimus finds, rushes in after that scream, tries to fight Black Arachnia, and gets absolutely fucking bodied by Grimlock.
Yeah, so he notices that she has stolen both of their abilities.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because he tries to hit her, and it's a fucking shadow clone, because she stole Prowl's hologram projector and Bumblebee's stingers.
Yeah. And she's like, baby, don't try to fight me. Like, you've bigger things to worry about. And she holds up a vial, I guess?
So, yeah, what she has done, well, she explains, after Grimlock has beaten the tar out of Optimus for, like, daring to try to lay a hand.
Is he bothering you, Queen?
Is Truckbot bothering you, Queen? But yeah, Black Arachnia tells Optimus, like, hey, I injected your buddies with enough cyber venom to kill them in like 3 hours. So what we're going to need you to do is go to Meltdown's old lab in the city and find his genetic modification key and bring it back so he can take the spider half out of me. And if you do that, I'll give your friends this anti-venom. And she holds up like a little venom gun. She's like, and if you don't, they'll just fucking die.
So get cracking.
Grimlock's gonna go with you to make sure you don't try anything tricky. And yeah, I like this. I love Grimlock being down atrocious for Black Arachnia is very funny. This is the most.
They'd make some
Grimlock
weird fucking babies.
Oh boy,
That would be some King Kong Skull Island type shit.
Yeah, that's where all those weird fucking bugs came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really wish animated Grimlock is so fun. I wish we got more animated Grimlock. He's like season 3 G1 funny Grimlock, but he's still cool and strong. We barely get any of the Dinobots. Like, I don't remember when the next Grimlock episode after this is. But yeah, they go to Detroit, and Grimlock is having a lot of fun scaring all of the pathetic humans. And Optimus is like, "Hey, no, we don't scare the humans. Stop that. Quit it."
Right.
But then so he's just like, hey, maybe you'd be a little bit less conspicuous if you turned into robot mode instead of rampaging around in your T-Rex mode. And Grimlock says, "Okay, but I'm still taller than you in robot mode." And that's why she likes me more. Yeah.
And Optimus is like, "Okay, well, I'm the only one who knows how to find this thing." So like
yeah, and Optimus this whole time is like, she's only using you, right? She doesn't actually care about you. And Grimlock's like, well, but she's pretty.
Yeah, like, and this is the point where Optimus is like, "I'm above this, but I know she's got a blank space, baby, and she'll write your name. I've been there." And bros before hoes. And Grimlock's like, "No." Literally no.
Me, Grimlock, built different. He's like Grimlock, she's literally betrayed every single one of her allies. And Grimlock says, "But me different, so it's fine. She like me, though." Optimus is like, "Fine, whatever. We're gonna go get the key." So they bust into Porter C. Powell's lobby and threaten to eat him if they don't tell him where it is.
Yeah, so this is great, because immediately after telling Grimlock not to threaten humans, Grimlock's like, "I'm really disappointed," looks at like PCP and is like, "I'm really disappointed I can't scare you because he said I couldn't." And Optimus is like, "No, this one you can."
Yeah, he can scare this one. And yeah, he just immediately tries to eat him.
He gets bored. Why is there so much vor in this?
I don't know. And yeah, he comes out all slimy. What is going on in there? I don't want to. What are Grimlock's internals? That's crazy. But Porter C. Powell tells them where the old lab is and lets them in. And of course immediately calls the cops to report a robbery and break in. They get this fucking genetic modification key, and they head on back, where Meltdown is getting ready for the procedure. And before the procedure starts, make sure to secure Black Arachnia's arms and legs real nice and tight with some metal restraints.
I'm not gonna lie. This was stupid on her part.
She didn't do her research. She didn't ask, she didn't ask Grimlock, "Hey, what's that guy's deal?" before going to seek out his services. And she's like, "Hey, are these necessary?" And Meltdown's like, "Yeah, baby, don't worry about it. It's fine. I will purify, I will take out the impure half of you. Don't worry. Don't ask which one I think that is, please."
Yeah. Yeah. So, not gonna lie, this was a rookie mistake.
Black Arachnia, I guess. So, Optimus and Grimlock arrive, and they're like, "Alright, we got the thing. Now where's the anti-venom?" But before that can happen, Meltdown's like, "Man, this robot's just fucking boring." And he sicks the two fucking monstrosities on them again. The ones that look like those G1 pretenders. Yeah, Bomb Burst and Submarauder. And yeah, they fight Optimus and Grimlock, while Meltdown reveals, "Psych, I wasn't going to take your organic half out. I think being a giant fucked up spider whips ass, actually. And I'm way more interested in seeing what happens if I take the mechanical part of you out. Because, if we'll remember, his whole his entire goal is to create a transforming organic being.
Yeah. He thinks the idea of her spider is just so hot.
Yeah, he literally, when she turns into when she's first talking to him, she's like, and I'm cursed with this horrible form, and she turns into a spider, and Meltdown goes, ooh, mamacita. I mean, yes, it is horrible, you're right. I am trustworthy.
Yeah. And she's like, no, you can't do this. And Grimlock's like, yeah, you can't do that. No, her pretty spider woman. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm going to do that, though. And hey, do you remember these monstrosities?
Yeah, the Bomb Burst and Submarauder are back, and they fucking tackle Grimlock and Optimus away. So while they're fighting these dudes,
we get like a 1/4 second screen here that is super cool. That kind of looks like it's about to go into an eye catch.
Oh yeah, this
when the monsters show up, but instead it just goes straight into the animation. But it's like this really cool like comic panel.
Yeah.
With like this kind of like scratchy, like really dynamic art that's like that freezes and like freezes very purposely. You can tell it's not like bad animation. It's like a purposeful freeze. It looks really cool. I don't know why it was in there though.
To look sick, like most of this episode does. This is another episode that just looks good.
Yeah. And then it switches back to Meltdown going, anyway, time for your extreme makeover, which is awful. Just an awful line.
He's serving, we have to admit. But so Grimlock accidentally sets a bunch of shit on fire with his big sword. He's a fire-breathing lizard with a fire sword. It's really hard not to set things on fire when he's fighting. But luckily, the other two Dinobots, Swoop and Snarl, show up to dispatch the monstrosities here. I really love Snarl just walking out from behind a tree and beating the shit out of them with his big stupid club.
It's pretty good.
Like, Swoop tosses them into a pile, and Snarl just waddles up and starts smacking them around like fucking Bam Bam. But this is, Optimus puts out the fire with his cum cannon, and they rush in to stop the horrible operation here. They manage to, like, rip the genetic key out of the computer thing, and during the struggle,
no saw traps for you.
No saw traps for you, Black Arachne. During the struggle, Black grabs it with his like ungloved acid hand, and it fucks him all the way up.
Yeah. Now, this is in the middle of him almost melting through Optimus, by the way.
Yeah, he is bad. He is doing pretty good against these guys here. But yeah, no, he touches the thing, and he like his like body falls apart, and he makes some pretty gross, gnarly noises as he's melting, and he just melts out of his fucking suit, and seems to be entirely inert goo now. So this is the part where Optimus lets Black Arachne out of her restraints, and she's like, "Oh, Optimus, come closer."
Yeah.
And of course, she's used this trick several times of getting Grimlock really mad at Optimus by like hitting on him and making him jealous. So she's just doing that again, because I do love how he falls for it so bad though.
Yeah, it's very Catwoman.
It is. It is a very like Catwoman, Batman sort of thing. So Grimlock body checks him out of jealous rage. And Black Arachne uses that opportunity to leave and get out. And Optimus tells Grimlock, "See, man, I told you she was just using you. Please ignore what just happened to me. I am still above it. I did not become so horny I almost passed out. Don't worry about that." And Grimlock just goes, "No, I thought what we had was special."
Yeah. Come back.
We cut back to
the Dinobots just fucking leave.
Come back. Yeah, the other ones just leave.
They just leave.
They thought she was hot, but like she never gave them the time of day. It was always Grimlock. So they're like, "Oh, whatever, man." Get over it, bro.
Anyway,
She never even liked you that. She just wanted you for your fire breath, man. Forget about her.
boy,
We're
problems,
real
we've got
friends.
them too.
I love this scene coming up here.
Yeah, so Optimus is like, alright, and he, like, grabs Prowl and Bumblebee, still all tied up.
Well, no. At first he walks up and is like, oh god, I'm so sorry I couldn't save you two. Because he didn't get the antivenom.
Right.
So he thinks they're dead. He thinks they're just gonna die. But then he notices that Black Arachnia left the antivenom next to them before she left. And so he cures them and unties them. And yeah.
And Bumblebee's so proud of himself. Because
It's
for
like, see?
2
I
whole
told
Mega
you.
Cycles, he didn't say anything.
And Prowl says, well, yeah, but you literally had to be paralyzed in order for that to happen, so I don't think that counts. And Bumblebee just goes, you can't change the rules now.
Anyway, there's there's a lot that goes on. Powell also, like, shows up here.
They're back in Detroit, I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
They try to get the Autobots arrested, and Fanzone just goes,
What are you, stupid?
no.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Fans is like, I'm
he
gonna
literally-
arrest you. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's like, stop annoying me. He literally says, I'm gonna go home and sleep. I don't care about this. I don't care about you, Powell.
And so, like, Prowl and Bumblebee are like, well, hey, bud. We know it's been a long day for you. But, like, she left the antidote,
Oh yeah,
right?
Sari is the one who says this.
Oh, is it Sari?
Optimus is like looking sadly off into the middle distance, thinking about his hot goth GF, and yeah, she taps on his foot, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And Optimus is just like, "She could have just left without leaving the antidote."
Right,
for
you're
me,
right.
but she did. Maybe that means there's still hope for her. Maybe I can fix her.
Yeah. And, like, it's so funny. Maybe there's hope for her, says Man Yet, who's not yet gotten over his first crush.
Oh boy! And then our final little bullet point. We got Meltdown's face forming in the goo. Fuck, he's back.
He's okay.
You just can't keep that guy down. But yeah, that's Black Friday. It's a real fun episode. We need more Grimlock. That's just what I say about every Transformers show, though, to be fair. And yeah, we get to that's so sad. That's basically the last Grimlock episode we get.
In the season or at all?
At all.
Wow, really?
He shows up a couple more times, but he's not really like a big thing.
That's a bummer.
I presumably he would have had more stuff in season 4 yet again. But yeah, no. Great episode. I believe we've got a couple of questionerinos on Twitter, so let me grab those for our question segment.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, both of these are from Cass. The first one is, wow, this Wasp guy seems really scary, like a Terminator or something. How should we kill him to make sure? Alternatively, what is your favorite slasher death in film? He doesn't seem that scary. Right now, anyway. But I actually haven't seen all that many slasher movies, but I think there's something that I still find so inexplicably funny about in the first Halloween movie, Dr. Loomis just fucking blowing Michael Myers away.
Yeah.
It's he was fucking strapped that whole movie and he just shoots him.
I have to say, I think, like, my favorite villain deaths in slasher movies are all the Scream movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because they all suck. I mean, Sydney is such a good final girl. And continues to be a final girl for, like, the first 4 of them, I think?
Mm-hmm.
3? Something like that. No, 4 is where it switches up, I think.
Well, because, I mean, Ghostface is just a series of shitheads wearing a costume.
Correct,
They're just
exactly.
normal guys.
And all of them think they can kill Sydney, but none of them can. That's why she's great. Because it's not the same person. She literally, she does kill them. She literally does kill every single one of them. Which is so I guess my answer is just shoot or stab the motherfucker, because that seems to be how it works in the Scream.
Yeah. And her other question here, first of all, a comment on the picture I chose. Pictured how coward artists draw Griddlehark. That's true. The actual question is, if you were to pastiche together a story, like, for instance, Danganronpa and Warhammer 40k, what would be the wildest combo? That one's pretty wild. Bloodborne?
Actually, they did it for... Well, my instinct was going to be Saw Patrol.
God.
But it's actually Saw and my... Hello Kitty. Because there are at least cops in Saw. There is a defined legal system that plays a major role in Saw, so I could actually see Paw Patrol having a place in there.
That's right. It's more fitting, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, Bloodborne and Blue's Clues. I don't know. That just seems like it just popped into my head. As for some reason, it fits.
I know Paprika knows how to dodge roll.
That's right. Paprika can fucking punk out Father Gascoigne easy. Fuck that old man. All right. How about you take us through?
Yeah, you got it.
Discord?
All right. From me, Mr. Gay, Daphnis, how do each of the Autobots and Decepticons in this roster do their Black Friday shopping if they're not abstaining over ethical concerns?
Okay, so let's get out of the way. Who's abstaining over ethical concerns?
Optimus.
Optimus and Jazz, maybe. I think Jazz would go once, and then he'd be like, "Ugh, that was bad. I'm not doing that again." He just wanted to see.
So... Optimus does it over ethical concerns. Bulkhead does it, abstains because he fucking hates it.
Mm-hmm.
Just hates it. All the Decepticons go there a day early.
Yep.
They leave Thanksgiving early to camp out. And the rest of the Autobots do not do it in person.
I think Bumblebee would do it in person. I think Bumblebee wants that smoke.
I think Bumblebee actually has killed people on Black Friday. Bumblebee has
zapped a grandma over a Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah. Damn, we should have done this episode in a couple weeks.
Right? This was an inexplicable break for 2 weeks just to line this up.
Yeah. From Ruby Road Rage Ruby. So what are your Sentinel sign names?
What are our special talents?
Whatever.
That he would create nicknames for us.
I'm thinking about those no gay has all 5. So I'm positive relationship with my father.
I guess I'm good at driving.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking Wheeler. I don't know. Wheelie.
I don't want to come up with a name for positive relationship with my father. Sorry. That's the name.
You are called the Band The Offspring. That is your Sentinel assigned name. That is your trooper name. That's the
perfect.
Full thing. The band The
That's
Offspring.
my JoJo's name.
Yes.
And also from Ruby, what is your non-Sentinel Auto Boot Camp assigned name? Okay, so this I kind of actually had, because I had a summer camp nickname. And it was Mouse.
Oh, that's delightful. How
Yeah.
did you get that?
I was really tiny when I was in middle school, which was like late elementary school through middle school, and I guess my first year of high school is when I was going to summer camp. So, I was like super tiny. So my bunkmates just called me Mouse.
I never went to summer camp. I was not a summer camp kind of kid. I was too fucking lazy for that shit, and I hated the outdoors. So I will abstain from this question. Sorry, Ruby.
And then I really dug into it. Like I did sculpture, like wire sculpture when I was there, and I made like a mouse sculpture that's still in my parents' living room.
So
actually,
you took it on as your brand.
Yeah, a little bit.
I see.
A little bit.
It's not a bad nickname, honestly.
No, it was cute. I like it.
It's pretty good.
I think of it as, I don't have a dead name, but I do think of it as like an alt name actually sometimes. Where it's like, you can call me Audrey or Mouse. I'll respond to either. And then also from Ruby, what do you think is the sort of relationship of mold siblings is like in general? Is it more brother from another mother or more same hat? I think the latter.
Yeah, I think it is same hat. Like, there are in particular a lot of bumblebees. If you look in the Elfspark Almanac.
Well, and
there's,
seekers.
Yes. Well, there's a reason for that, but that's sort of a different situation.
Maybe so, but like the genesis is still the same. They wanted one
That's
toy
true.
that they could recolor.
They wanted, but that's been the case since the beginning.
Correct.
But to be fair, most of these characters do not have toys in the Allspark Almanac. They are all background characters, but there are a lot of bumblebees, bumblebee-esque body types.
Yeah, Cliffjumper's really the only one who gets like toys.
I don't even think he got an animated. I think he got like one of the like activators or whatever, the sort of younger auto transforming things. Like he got one of those, but I don't think he ever got an actual full scale toy. The Bumblebee repaint for this was Wasp.
Right.
Because
As we explicitly stated.
That's right.
From Haybine, we're gonna answer this very quickly. But what's up with this long arm prime guy? There's something different about him that I can't quite put my finger on. He's just so interesting, and such a good listener. I don't know, there's just something mysterious about the way he moves and transforms.
Well, he's just a cool guy.
He's just a cool guy
he's my good buddy Longarm,
who happens to be the reason that most things go wrong, as per usual. Veer, Nero from Disney Minus asks, how's the animated cast Black Friday kill/assist ratio looking?
We already said Bumblebee has killed people before.
Yeah.
Lugnut could cause some problems in a Black Friday situation, let me tell you.
Yeah, that punch of ultimate destruction.
That's gonna cause some fucking madness.
The-
So I think his ratio is quite high. All the rest, it's varying. I don't think Black Arachnia participates in this nonsense. I think she's above that. She does her shopping online.
Also from Veer, could Long Arm Prime survive the Red Robin's wedding from the South Park Black Friday special? Veer, I'm looking into your eyes. I'm holding your hands right now. I'm letting you know that I haven't watched South Park in probably 15 years.
It's truly untenable to me that it's still going. It's like The Walking Dead to me. It's like, how are we still doing this? Stop it. And the answer is because it's very cheap to produce.
Yeah.
Unlike The Walking Dead, actually. The Walking Dead is actually quite expensive.
Yeah, it's hugely expensive.
But it's also inexplicably successful still, sort of. It must be. They've like there's like 5
I think
spin-offs.
I think Norman Reedus is carrying that show single-handedly on his back. That franchise, because it has like 50 spin-offs too now.
Yeah, and one of them is his, so he's got his own show. He's hanging out. He's fucking bumping around in Europe.
Isn't it like 2 of them are his?
No, he's only got one. Okay, so I know.
All right, there's a second chapter that's about Carol. Whatever.
Yeah, so there's the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, which 2 guesses who that one's about. We have Walking Dead Dead City, which is about Negan and Maggie's adventures in New York City. And then there's the worst named one, The Walking Dead The Ones Who Live, which is about Rick, who is still fucking alive, even though...
Didn't he die? Didn't he die a decade ago?
That was the plan, because the actor was like, I don't want to be stuck making Walking Dead forever. I want to spend some time with my family. But then I guess there was like, ooh, we got more Walking Dead for you to do.
Don't forget you're here forever.
Yeah, 3 a.m. going back to the fridge for more zombies.
Anyway, Veer, I can't answer this question. I'm sorry.
No.
What if, also for Veer though, what if Bumblebee was actually a Decepticon spy unrelated to any other Decepticon spies out there? I think he'd be discovered very quickly.
He's really bad at like subtle stuff. I don't think he'd be a good like accidental spy. You could just have someone sit near him and learn a lot. That's why they don't tell him anything. That's why they don't keep him in the loop about sensitive operations.
And then finally from Veer here, which of the 2 genders are you, small slime girl or big spider lady?
Big slime girl?
I think I think I'd like to be Big Spider Lady, but realistically, I'm Small Slime Girl. I just talked about how my summer camp nickname was Mouse because of how small I was, so...
I'm just not really spider relate sort of oriented, you know? I want to be Big Slime Girl. I don't want to be Small Slime Girl. I want to be Big Slime Girl.
Well, that's not one of the
Slime.
two choices.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna rebel against these gender norms. Fuck this shit.
What, you think you can be non-binary?
I'm gonna be
on the non-binary show?
Nah, I'm gonna be non-slime-nary. Look, it's easy to be a big slime.
Non-spinary?
You just get more slime. Like, it's pretty easy to get bigger as a slime. You just get more of it. You know? It's easy.
From Aurora Animated, what other Beast Wars XP should have showed up in Animated?
Well, we're getting another one at some point in the future here. 2 guesses as to who it could possibly be, considering Wasp's speech pattern at the end of this episode. But we haven't met this guy yet. He's a season 2 character.
Yeah.
But I want Quick Strike. I want that fucking cowboy scorpion snake. Mm-hmm. That's not who you expected me to say, was it? You expected me to say Silverbolt.
I was expecting you to say Silverbolt, yes.
And I like Silverbolt. I do like Silverbolt. But Quick Strike... he's delightful. And by the way, fun fact, do you know who voices Quick Strike?
No.
Colin Murdoch. You know who else Colin Murdoch voiced?
Yes, but I can't remember.
2 words. Squid Head.
Right. I was like, I know I've heard that voice. Or like heard that name in our discussions here. Okay.
He is Armada Thrust.
You know what? I'm gonna go classic with my homegirl Air Razor.
Oh, we do need more. There isn't enough Air Razor in the world.
Okay. From Slipstream Sam, which Jello flavor could also include their pudding is the most evil?
Vanilla.
No, I think it's an actual Jello, like a gelatin.
Okay. What?
For me.
Okay. Let me look.
Okay.
Up.
You know what? I might go for the grape.
Ew. Oh yeah.
The grape Jello's pretty fucking noxious, and I've only ever had it in Jello shots, which is even worse.
Yeah, I mean, like, fake grape flavor I don't like it at all. Like, I don't like grape soda.
Yeah, no, it's
like
bad. It's bad. It's simply not good. And real grapes are so good. It's like, why would you do this to a fruit that is so fucking good?
Why would you sully this fucking beautiful fruit with this horrid chemical? Like, it tastes so bad.
The puddings are actually okay. Right?
Yeah,
like,
there's not really any objectionable
puddings. Yeah, it's instant pudding. It's not high cuisine, but they're fine. They're perfectly serviceable puddings. I think it has to be the grape Jello.
Oh god, hang on. I just found candy cane and gingerbread instant pudding, so maybe
I still think those sound better to me than grape Jello, frankly.
Yeah.
Right, like I think about like latte flavors, right? If I can put those flavors in a coffee and be okay with it, I don't see any reason why I can put them in a pudding and not be okay with it.
That's true. They're probably like whatever.
They're probably fine. They're probably not my first choice. Peppermint is never my first choice, but I still think that grape sounds worse to me.
Artificial grape is the devil's chemical and should never find its way into any food. That shit is gross.
Yeah. From Sidewinder, Sabrina. How many of the Anaformers characters have autism and what is their specialty? A la Bulkhead really being into space bridges.
That one's definitely true.
Yeah,
that one is absolutely true. God,
you know what? Prowl in like Japan.
He's big into anime. And also like, nature and stuff. He's a multifaceted
The Ninja Way.
guy.
Prowl and the Ninja Way.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, Prowl. And
Lockdown's hyperfixation is dissecting people. Okay?
I'm gonna call it difference. That's ADHD, not autism.
Okay.
For Lockdown.
I see. You can't blame me. I have ADHD.
Yeah.
It's like yanking someone's hand off.
Yeah, he's literally neurodivergent and a minor.
Yeah, I'm literally. That's right. Brett is Brow. How could you work with that monster? It's like he's literally neurodivergent.
And then on there's no one diagnosed on the Decepticon side, but for the follow-up question here, who is each team's government assigned? Oh, sorry, not autistic. Sorry, the definitely undiagnosed but still autistic on the Decepticon side is Lugnut.
Uh-huh.
And his his special interest is Megatron.
That's right. As all of ours is. All hail the glorious leader Megatron.
So who is each team's
et cetera.
government assigned non-autistic? Ratchet?
Yeah, Ratchet and Megatron.
Yeah, probably Megatron. Or Starscream.
He's not on the team enough to count.
Yeah.
He is in a state of betrayal flux. So, doesn't count at the moment. Megatron's always there, though. He is a reliable guy. I trust Megatron.
And then, also from Sabrina, as we all know, the endpoint for all evolution is carcinization. As such, we can assume that even the mighty Cybertronian shall yield to the humble crab. What crustacean will each character from animated eventually become? Example, Bulkhead may become a coconut crab or be a shrimp. This can also apply to other shows already seen, but I assume that would take too long. Yeah, that part would take too long, but we can do this one.
Uh-oh, Bumblebee, I think I accidentally ate Amelia Earhart.
I have to, pick up a... Let me look at oh my god.
Yeah, I also Googled list of crustaceans.
List of crustaceans.
This is a big list. All right, so
I'm gonna say that Bumblebee's gonna be a Moreton Bay bug.
Yeah. Are horseshoe crabs actually crustaceans? They count. Are they old? I think they're older than crustaceans.
Probably. They're probably like
In that case, Ratchet is a horseshoe crab.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bulkhead or Lugnut as coconut crabs definitely work.
Let's see here.
Bumblebee is a fucking pistol shrimp.
Oh, you know what? I think Optimus I'm gonna give crayfish.
Yeah.
The big ol' hands.
Yep. He does have big hands. What would Sentinel be?
Sentinel.
What's a big and annoying crab?
Sentinel would be a krill.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or a barnacle.
Wow. I didn't know barnacles are crustaceans.
Barnacles are crustaceans, yep.
I think that's all the crustaceans we can name.
No one has been assigned lobster yet.
Shit. Oh fuck. Who goes delicious with butter? Okay, now I think Lugnut is a coconut crab, and Bulkhead is the lobster because he's a little smaller than him, but he's still pretty big.
Yeah, sure.
Are those big? Wait, are isopods crustaceans? No, they're not. Right? Giant.
I'm not sure.
Sea isopods.
I'm not sure. Let me see.
Most sexual motherfucker in the ocean.
Are isopods crustaceans? Yes, they are.
Oh fuck. I think Blitzwing should be an isopod. I don't know why. It just fits to me.
All right, go off.
There are so many crustaceans out there in the world. You can find them all and be pinched by them.
You could.
I must say, I think crustaceans are scary. They have fucked up faces, and I don't like looking at them.
I enjoy eating them very much.
That's right. They are delicious. I would not like to talk to one. Particularly the idea that giant sea spiders and coconut crabs are things that exist in the world deeply frighten me, even though I will never encounter either of them. But they're just unsettling creatures. They're too big. They're too goddamn big.
I do like to see them, I have to say. Some of them are really, really cute.
Every time I see that picture of the coconut crab on the trash can, I just go like, I should leave this planet and go somewhere else.
Yeah, well, some of them are cute.
Some of them are. I like the crabs with the little eye stalks.
I do love hermit crabs.
Yes, hermit crabs are fine.
I do love hermit crabs, and there are some pretty cute shrimp out there.
The bigger they are, the easier it is to resolve their fucked up nightmare faces. And by the way, there is actually a crab transformer once again in season 2 of Beast Wars. Or is that season? When is Rampage? Season 2 or season 3?
I think it's 2.
No, it's 2 because I don't think
remember.
there are any. I don't think there are any new cast members after season 2.
Okay. And then our final question tonight from Short Screen Chet. What are some other potential bullying methods exclusive to Cybertronians due to their physiology, such as how Wasp and Ironhide are able to cut off Bumblebee's legs before sticking him in a locker?
That's still so fucked up.
I mean, just like dismantlement in general, I guess.
Oh God. We saw the headmaster bullying Sentinel by taking his head off. Yeah, these guys in particular, they're very easy to take apart and put back together, so you can do a lot of fucked up shit
nothing
with that.
kills these guys somehow.
You gotta really fuck these Cybertronians up to kill them. Like, falling from 150 stories after getting blasted with the Allspark. That's what killed Prime. It takes a lot to kill a guy.
Yeah.
I guess not Starscream. Well, okay, Starscream.
Again, Starscream is a statistical outlier.
Well, he's also getting regularly blasted with the fusion cannon, which I presume is bad.
Yeah, but still, Starscream's a statistical outlier who should not be counted.
Absolutely. So taking him apart, steal somebody's legs and put them on top of the fridge.
Yeah.
Do that. But that'll be it for us this week with I believe next week, if I'm not mistaken, this next week is the end of animated season 2.
Yep. And it'll be good because it'll be like a nice little Thanksgiving break for us, I think.
Yes. I think, should we take the holidays off? Should we just go, come back in January?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah. But regardless, next day we're talking about Sorry No One's Home, and then A Bridge Too Close, parts 1 and 2. And let me tell you, some good shit happens.
Yeah. So until next time, I'm gonna... Oh, right.
Well, we
Jesus
have lots
Christ.
of plugs to do.
It's been a long episode. It's been a really long episode.
Yeah, it has. I'm going to speed around that shit. Noise Space, XYZ, lots of other shows. Dr. Han, has snacks, all that shit. You can find anything on there. Me, Nero, Dragon Swooter on Twitter, Dragon Cycle co-host, Cyclones for the 5 on Tumblr, Talk Cycles, Ready for Heidelin. We got that shit. Teen Titans Season 2 coming up. Go.
I'm Audrey. Find me on Tumblr, Twitter, co-host, Blue Sky at Optimum Prime, Funny Robot Internet Joke. Listen to the other podcast I do. It's called Pot of Greed. It's about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's also on Noise Space. I've been cast in a radio drama that is being actively worked on, and I will have more information about soon, and I'm starting a New York City podcast on the Moonshot Network called I'm Eden Here. And until next time, I'm gonna come over here, my beautiful man who I'm still in love with. No, don't look the other way. Now look the other way. Goodbye. Transform and roll out.
I am going to drop and give my drill sergeant 250 transform ups, and I won't be rolling out because I'm gonna be here a while, honestly.
Peach.